When it comes to beef and hip-hop, we've seen it all: diss tracks, shady interviews, Instagram wars. But nothing, and I mean nothing, could have prepared the culture for the moment 50 Cent marched into court, looked a judge dead in the eye, and basically said, "If you let Diddy out, I might not make it home alive." Yes, you heard that right. Curtis Get Rich or Die Tryin' Jackson, the man who's survived 9 bullets, Ja Rule, and 2 decades of rap beef, is now telling a judge he fears for his life if Sean Brother Love Combs is released. This isn't just a headline, this is a Netflix thriller playing out in real life, with the kind of twists that make the Kardashians look like Sesame Street. The courtroom gasped. The blogs exploded. The internet lit up like Times Square on New Year's Eve. Suddenly, the rap game wasn't about music. It was about survival. And 50 Cent, he flipped the script, turning a legal hearing into the wildest reality show moment the hip-hop world has ever seen. So grab your popcorn, because this isn't just beef, this is war in a courtroom suit. And the receipts are spicier than ever. The rap game has always thrived on chaos, but this is straight up Shakespeare with bottle service. Imagine the man who built an empire on surviving shootouts, bankruptcies, and rap beef standing in front of a judge, basically waving a white flag and saying, "I'm not scared of Ja Rule, but I'm terrified of Diddy." That's not just irony, that's a plot twist even M. Night Shyamalan would say is too much. The courtroom was tense, and for good reason. The Diddy scandal had already been brewing like a toxic cocktail. Lawsuits piling up, raids on mansions, accusations spilling like cheap champagne at a bad boy party. But then came the jaw-dropper, 50 Cent entering the mix not as a troll on Instagram, but as a man under oath, allegedly pleading with the court to keep Diddy locked up. This wasn't a diss track. This wasn't a meme. This was real life, with legal transcripts instead of bars. And fans were eating it up like it was the Super Bowl. For context, 50 Cent and Diddy have had beef for years, the kind of beef that goes beyond music and into a full-blown lifestyle. 50 clowns Diddy at every turn, painting him as the bad boy gone creepy uncle, while Diddy fires back with silence and power moves. It's been the Cold War of hip-hop. One side loud and savage, the other smug and untouchable. But now, that Cold War just went nuclear. It all began when whispers leaked from inside the courtroom. A reporter claimed 50 Cent straight up told the judge he feared for his safety if Diddy was released. Let's pause here. 50 Cent, the same man who made his entire career flexing about surviving 9 gunshots, who clowned Ja Rule into retirement, who built an empire off of beef, suddenly saying he's scared. That's like The Rock admitting he's afraid of leg day. It doesn't compute. And yet, that's exactly why the internet lost its mind. The first wave of reactions hit social media like a hurricane. Fans posted clips of 50 looking serious in court, with captions like, "This ain't the 50 I know." Others dragged him mercilessly, calling him Snitch Cent and roasting him with memes of 6ix9ine in a rainbow wig. One viral tweet said, 50 Cent been bullying rappers for 20 years just to fold like a lawn chair when it's Diddy. Ouch. But not everyone laughed. Some fans said 50 was keeping it real, pointing out that Diddy's allegations weren't exactly light reading. From secret parties to shady business moves, Diddy's name had been swimming in scandal for months. One fan wrote, "If 50 Cent says he's scared, maybe we should all be scared." That comment alone racked up thousands of likes. The blogs had a field day. Headlines screamed, 50 Cent breaks down in court. Fear factor. 50 Cent tells judge he's terrified of Diddy. From bulletproof to begging, the fall of a rap titan. It was pure clickbait gold. And the internet devoured it like leftovers at 3 a.m., of course. It wouldn't be a 50 Cent scandal without him making things worse. Hours after the court news leaked, he jumped on Instagram, posting cryptic memes about rats and fake friends. Was he talking about Diddy? Was he trolling the media? Nobody knew, but everybody had an opinion. That's the genius of 50. Even when he's cornered, he knows how to flip the narrative back into entertainment. But here's the kicker: people inside the courtroom claimed it wasn't all jokes. Allegedly, 50 looked shaken. Not his usual smug, trolling self, but a man genuinely nervous. A lawyer whispered to a reporter that 50 mentioned serious threats, and fans immediately started spiraling. What kind of threats? Was Diddy pulling strings from behind bars? Was there some hidden empire working in the shadows? Conspiracy theories multiplied faster than Nick Cannon's kids. By the end of the day, the internet wasn't just gossiping, it was spiraling. Was this the ultimate sign that Diddy's power ran deeper than anyone imagined? Or was 50 Cent just playing chess, using fear as a legal strategy to keep his biggest rival behind bars? Nobody knew, but everyone was watching. And let's not forget, this isn't just rap beef anymore. This is hip-hop history colliding with legal drama, memes colliding with federal transcripts, street credibility colliding with courtroom anxiety. The man who once built an empire on fearlessness had just admitted fear. And that single admission flipped the entire culture upside down. Fans called it the end of the Bulletproof 50, blogs dubbed it the courtroom collapse, and memes? Endless. One had 50 photoshopped into a Lifetime movie poster called Scared Straight, the Curtis Jackson story. Another showed him in a courtroom whispering, "Your Honor, I'm shook." The internet is ruthless, but it's also undefeated. Still, beneath the jokes, there was something bigger brewing. Because if 50 Cent, of all people, was scared of Diddy, what did that say about the empire Puff built? And if Diddy really did have that kind of reach, then maybe this wasn't just about memes and shade. Maybe this was about survival. The stage was set, the lines were drawn, and the court of public opinion was on fire. And just when you thought it couldn't get any wilder, celebrity reactions and industry shade poured gasoline on the flames. The moment the story broke, Hollywood's messiest personalities came crawling out like roaches when the lights turn on. Because if there's one thing celebrities love more than a scandal, it's pretending they're shocked while secretly sipping champagne and refreshing the shade room comments. And 50 Cent giving a courtroom performance worthy of an Emmy? That was their Super Bowl. First to jump in were the opportunist rappers who hadn't trended since the Obama era. Suddenly, they were tweeting prayers up for 50. "Stay safe, big bro," like they were his cousins. Influencers filmed TikToks with captions like, "If 50 scared of Diddy, then we all scared of Diddy." One dude even lit a candle on live stream and called it a prayer vigil for Curtis. The internet roasted him instantly. "Sir, this ain't a church. It's cloud chasing." But then came the shade and oh, it was delicious. Ja Rule, 50's forever nemesis, couldn't resist. He posted a laughing emoji with no caption. That's it. Just one emoji. And the internet erupted like Mount Vesuvius. Fans wrote, "Ya been waiting 20 years for this moment." Memes flooded in of Ja Rule popping champagne with the caption, "The return of petty season." Other celebs jumped in with more subtle shade. A Love and hip-hop star tweeted, "Some people act tough until real bosses step in." Everyone instantly assumed it was about 50, even if the tweet could have been about their Uber Eats order. That's how hot the story was. Every sub-tweet became part of the narrative. Meanwhile, the memes went into overdrive. TikTok edits showed 50 Cent in a courtroom screaming, "I fear for my life," spliced with clips of him rapping Many Men. Twitter compared him to Tekashi 669 dubbing him 59. One meme had him hiding under a desk with the caption, 50 Cent when Diddy sneezes in jail. Savage. Absolutely. Viral? Of course. But not everyone was laughing. A section of fans started taking 50's words seriously. They pointed out that Diddy's scandals weren't just about gossip, they included serious allegations and rumors of dark industry secrets. If Curtis says he's scared, we should believe him, one viral tweet argued, collecting 80,000 likes in a day. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't just clowning 50. It was, what exactly is Puff hiding? And then the conspiracy theories landed like pigeons at a park. TikTok detectives claimed the judge's reaction looked nervous, implying even the court feared Diddy's influence. Threads popped up alleging Diddy had politicians in his pocket, that this was bigger than rap, bigger than Hollywood, this was Illuminati-level control. The craziest theory? That 50's courtroom plea wasn't fear, it was a coded message to the world. If anything happens to me, you know who did it. Internet users turned it into a full-blown espionage thriller. Of course. 50 being 50, he couldn't resist trolling. Hours later, he posted a picture of himself with the caption, "I ain't scared. I'm just smart." Lol. Classic Curtis. He knew exactly what he was doing, fanning flames while pretending to downplay them. The comments exploded. Some clowned him for backpedaling. Others called him a genius for turning fear into content. Meanwhile, Diddy's camp stayed silent. No statements, no posts, no press releases. That silence only made things worse. Fans filled the void with wild speculation. Was Diddy planning revenge? Was he plotting behind bars? Was his team too scared to speak up? The less they said, the more people assumed the worst. Public outrage escalated. Talk shows debated the drama like it was the OJ trial. Bloggers dissected every word 50 allegedly said in court. TikTok therapists uploaded videos about fear, power, and toxic masculinity in hip-hop culture. Even Wendy Williams' replacements couldn't resist dragging the story across their sets. And the culture split into two camps. Camp 50 folded, roasting him for breaking his fearless image. How you get shot 9 times and live, but you scared of Puffy's side-eye. Camp 50 knows something, insisting his fear proved Diddy's power was darker than the public knew. Kurt has been trolling for years. If he's serious, y'all should listen. Either way, the drama was no longer just a courtroom leak. It was a cultural earthquake. The real madness came when other rappers chimed in. One trap rapper joked on IG, "I'd be scared too. Puff got ops in places y'all can't even spell." Another claimed Diddy had industry skeletons so heavy they could bury careers. Fans begged for more tea, and the rappers just winked, adding fuel without receipts. Classic hip-hop marketing. Stir the pot. Never show the ingredients. Even comedians got in on it. A viral skit showed an actor dressed as 50 Cent begging a judge while another actor dressed as Diddy stood there smiling like a Bond villain. Millions of views later, fans were both laughing and shivering. Because behind the comedy, the question remained, why was 50 really so scared? The outrage wasn't just about the two men, it was about the culture itself. People debated whether hip-hop had created monsters too powerful to be checked. Was Diddy untouchable? Was 50 exposing something bigger than himself? Or was this just another performance, another PR stunt in the world's longest rap soap opera? What's certain is that this fear plea flipped the script. 50, once the fearless troll, became the messenger of danger. Diddy, once the mogul untouchable, became the shadow figure everyone whispered about. And the fans? They were hooked like Netflix junkies waiting for the next episode to drop. But if you thought the memes and celebrity reactions were wild, the aftermath, the reputational collapse, the industry fallout, the whispers of retaliation turned this courtroom saga into a cultural horror story. When the courtroom dust settled, the world wasn't calmer, it was louder. 50 Cent's fear plea didn't just ripple through the culture, it detonated like a grenade, leaving reputations shredded and public opinion permanently split. What started as a legal statement turned into a cultural moment, the kind that defines careers and cements legends. For 50 Cent, the aftermath was brutal. Overnight, his once bulletproof image took a hit. Fans who used to see him as the ultimate gangster, the guy who laughed at death after 9 bullets, now saw cracks in the armor. Memes called him Snitch Cent, Curtis Crying Jackson, and Scared Rich or Die Tryin'. Twitter had him photoshopped in a witness protection program commercial. The roast sessions were endless. But here's the irony, every joke only kept him trending. Every drag, every meme, every headline gave him what he craves most: attention. 50's survival has never been about being loved. It's been about being talked about. And boy, was he talked about. His name was everywhere. Not for music, not for TV, but for the kind of scandal that cements relevance in a culture addicted to drama. Diddy, on the other hand, came out of this looking like a supervillain. Silent, shadowy, and untouchable, his lack of response only deepened the fear factor. Fans treated him like Thanos, a mogul so powerful that even 50 Cent, the king of trolling, begged the judge to keep him behind bars. The less Diddy said, the scarier he became. Every quiet day felt like a plot brewing in the background. The myth of Puff Daddy grew darker, heavier, and more menacing than ever. The industry watched nervously. Some artists distanced themselves from both men, not wanting to be caught in the crossfire. Others quietly aligned with 50, liking his posts and echoing his concerns. And then there were those who clung to Diddy's camp, posting vague loyalty messages like, "Bad boy for life." No matter what they say, the fractures were obvious. Hip-hop wasn't united, it was splitting into camps. With 50 and Diddy as the two gravitational poles, the cultural aftermath was even crazier. Think pieces dropped left and right. Fear in hip-hop. What 50's plea says about power in the industry. Podcasts debated whether 50 was smart for exposing his fear or weak for admitting it. TikTok flooded with breakdowns, edits, and theories. One viral TikTok had millions of views, splicing clips of Diddy's past scandals with 50's Courtroom line, painting it like a trailer for an HBO crime doc. The caption? Coming soon. Surviving Diddy, executive produced by 50 Cent Savage. And then came the whispers of consequences. Anonymous insiders claimed 50's businesses were being pressured. Rumors spread that shows tied to him were suddenly facing delays. Fans speculated it was retaliation. Proof that Diddy's reach was bigger than anyone imagined. Whether true or not, it fed the paranoia, making the saga even more terrifying. For fans, the aftermath became an obsession. Every move 50 made, every caption he posted, every photo he shared was analyzed like CIA intelligence. If he smiled, they said he was hiding fear. If he joked, they said it was nervous energy. If he stayed silent, they swore Diddy's shadow was lurking over him. Curtis Jackson wasn't just a rapper or mogul anymore, he was the main character in a global soap opera that blurred the line between entertainment and real-life danger. But here's the thing about 50 Cent. He thrives in chaos. Instead of disappearing, he leaned into the narrative. He trolled harder, dropped merch referencing his court plea, and even hinted at turning the scandal into content. In a twisted way, he weaponized his own fear and turned it into currency. If you can't beat the narrative, own it. And Curtis owned it like only he could. Still, the cultural scars were permanent. Hip-hop had always danced with danger, but this courtroom moment showed just how high the stakes could climb. It wasn't about diss tracks anymore, it was about survival, fear, and the blurred line between entertainment and intimidation. For Diddy, the aftermath left him shrouded in mystery. Every day he stayed silent, the myth grew. Fans painted him as untouchable, some terrified, others impressed. For some, he was the villain. For others, he was the king. Either way, his reputation was darker than ever, a mogul surrounded by shadows. And for the culture, this wasn't just a scandal, it was a warning shot. A reminder that beneath the memes and the shade, there are real consequences, real fears, and real power struggles shaping the industry. Because if 50 Cent, the man who laughed at bullets, is standing in court saying he fears for his life, then maybe the game is darker than anyone imagined. And maybe, just maybe, the next chapter of this saga won't be decided in a studio, but in a courtroom. The question now isn't if this feud continues. It's how far it'll go and who'll still be standing when the dust clears. And there you have it, the courtroom bombshell that flipped hip-hop upside down. 50 Cent, the man who built a career on fearlessness, walked into court and basically screamed, "Your Honor, please keep Puff locked up. I like breathing." If that doesn't prove how wild this industry is, I don't know what does. This wasn't just drama. This was history. Wrapped in memes, sprinkled with paranoia, and served hotter than Diddy's legendary parties. But let's be real, you didn't just sit through this circus for nothing. If you've made it this far, you're not just a viewer, you're family in the chaos. So smash that like button like you're throwing a chair at a love and hip-hop reunion. Hit subscribe like it owes you money. And flood the comments with your hot takes. Was 50 being smart? Or did he fold like a lawn chair in a hurricane? Is Diddy the real-life supervillain the culture whispers about? Or is this all just another chapter in hip-hop's longest-running soap opera? Because here's the truth. Scandals don't sleep. Today it's 50 pleading for his life. Tomorrow it's another megastar caught slipping. And the day after that it'll be somebody leaked tape. Courtroom drama or industry betrayals setting the internet on fire. And when it happens, you know exactly where to be right here. Front row at the circus.so. Stick around because the next explosion is already brewing. And trust me, you do not want to miss what drops next. This isn't just gossip. This is survival entertainment. This is truth tattle where secrets bleed, lies unravel, and the tea never stops boiling.